Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinarily renditioned. A criminal act under international law. The Court of Appeal discharged and acquitted Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, ordering his release. Nigeria disobeyed that court order. Instead of demanding justice, many Southeast politicians joined conspiracy of silence. They attend political gathering. They hold meetings with the same system that kidnapped their own son. They enjoy power while the symbol of their people remain in solitary confinement. The hypocrisy of the Southeast politicians is disturbing. The hypocrisy of the Southeast politicians is disturbing. And it is becoming very, very clear by day. They speak privately, but remain silent publicly. Many of them whisper in private, he should be released. But in public, they fear to speak because they don't want to offend Abuja. There are some politicians that are so cowardly that they cannot speak in public. They can't speak and call for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Talk to them privately. They will say release him. They will say he should be released. But in public, they fear to speak because they don't want to offend Abuja. Cowards in power. They use Mazen Nnamdi Kanu name only when it is benefits to them. They use the name of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu only when it is of benefit to them. During campaign, they shout, free Nnamdi Kanu. But once they enter office, they forget everything. They fear his influence. Every one of you today know that the only leader you have in the entire Southeast is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the only man who will speak and everybody will fall in line. They fear his influence. Some of these politicians know very well that when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu steps out of freedom, the political landscape of Southeast will change overnight. They know that very well. Many of them want him detained because his presence exposed their corruption, their cowardice, and their leadership failure. Because of that, they want him to remain in detention. They choose political appointment over their people. We have seen that over and over again. We have seen that in the governors. We see that in the ministers. We see that in all the politicians that are holding key posts. They say they are so. And they work against their people. They choose federal appointments over justice. They choose political relevance over truth. They choose personal gain over freedom of their own brother. This is the highest level of betrayal. This is the highest level of betrayal. What else can you say? The conspiracy. Why they won't push for his release? So many of us are asking that question. Why won't these politicians push for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? Why? There are many reasons. But before we go into that reasons, just recently, we saw that the Abia State, whatever they call themselves, they were asking and calling for the freedom of Mazin. They wrote to Tinubu. And we saw that on the X handle of the lawyer of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, Aloy Ejimako. We are going to go and look through that very post made by Aloy Ejimako and their letter. Let us see the content of their letter and what they had to say before we proceed. The Abia State House of Assembly have been doing a lot, though. They have been trying their best to what we can see. Only God knows the heart. We speak based on what we have seen. They have done, tried. We have seen them come to protest. One of the lawmakers that represented Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is from Abia State. And so we cannot throw them away completely. This is the post made by Aloy Ejimako. It says, I say this without equivocation. Honorable Obinna Agwacha has been the most consistent, sincere Southeast politician leader on this matter of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. May Ndi will be blessed with more leaders like him. And may President Tinubu hearken to what he said on this letter. The man has been in the front line writing, you know, the honorable that is always in front there, coming to court. In every court, he's always there. Every court, he's always there. And this is where I'm going, the one I'm looking at. The Abia State House of Assembly has formally written to President Bola Tinubu to appeal for the unconditional release of the indigenous people of Biafra leader, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. The appeal followed a resolution passed by the House on November. This is a very good development, and I wish other people could follow suit and do the same. I wish other people could follow suit and do the same. I wish other people could follow suit and do the same. The House of Assembly in Abia State. We have people in Nigerian Senate. We have people in Nigerian House of Assembly. In fact, in Nigerian House of Assembly, the second in command there is from Abia State. The same state with Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. But from every indication, he has not made any move on the case of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. Instead, the day Agwacha was making the challenge, making a case of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu in that house, he was the person that was calming the situation. And instead of saying it the way it is, he tried to calm him down and said that they're going to look into it. That they're going to, up to this moment, we have not had anything said by the House of Assembly on behalf of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. It's been 2 to 3 weeks or going to a month that argument was made by Honorable Agwacha, demanding the Nigerian House of Representatives to act Nigeria to withdraw that case. But they never did. They never listened. They continue to do what they want. And you have somebody from Abia State there who is second in command in the House of Assembly. But when it comes to issues that has to do with his people, he is not concerned. He's trying as much as possible not to offend Abuja, because possibly maybe he is targeting the Senate. He wants to be the president of the House of Assembly or the president of Senate in the next. The same way every one of them is aspiring for one post or the other. And they will never speak or say the truth. So at least we appreciate the Abia Assembly as the right to Tinubu as a body. they write Tinubu as a body. Seek Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditional release. That is it. Unconditional. That word is key. Not about people who are talking about the political solution nonsense and all those idiotic politicians that come to lie to themselves. Speak words that have weight. So I applaud the Abia State House Assembly for that move that they made. And we encourage them to do more. It is not enough to write. After writing, you have to follow it up to make sure that your request is met. You don't just write and go to bed. You write and follow it up. So we ask ourselves, why wouldn't they push for his release? Why wouldn't these politicians? Why wouldn't they push for his release? The governors, the House of Senate, the House of Assembly, why wouldn't they push for his release? There are no other reason than few things we are going to point out here. Abuja uses them as a tool of control. Abuja uses these politicians as a tool of control. The Nigerian government tells them what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and where to do it. That was why you saw Okalo coming out to say that he will not say anything until the court and the president take a decision. Okalo is from the same place with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He said he will not utter a word until the court and the president take a decision. Abuja uses these idiots as a tool of control. Don't talk about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu if you want federal support. That is what they tell them. Do not talk about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu if you want federal support. And every one of them obey. Every one of them obey. From governors to the House of Assembly to the Senate. Many of them fear the truth of Biafra. Many of these politicians, they are so afraid of the truth of Biafra. They know Biafra is a legitimate freedom movement. They know it very well. But they are more loyal to political parties than to their own people. They are more loyal to their wicked and false political parties, fraudulent political parties. They are more loyal to them than their own people. They benefit from the insecurity that you see today in the Southeast. The government used them to create that insecurity. The government used them to destabilize Biafra land, give them security votes, and they make more money. It has become a business for them. Some politicians profit from the chaos in the Southeast because insecurity keeps the people afraid and dependent. Did you hear that? Insecurity keeps the people afraid and dependent. And the governors know that. The politicians know that. And they use that as a tool against the people. These politicians, they are part of the team negotiating behind closed doors. These negotiations are not for justice. They are for political trading. The negotiation that is going behind closed doors, that they don't talk about, that they don't discuss in the public, is not for justice. They are not seeking for justice. They are for political trading. That is why you see many of them, they shout loud when it comes to political solution. They don't care about justice. Southeast politicians do not care about justice at all. Every single negotiation they're going behind closed door is for political trading. These informations, these are facts, verifiable facts. You can make your own research. This coming 20th November judgment is going to be historic. If it holds, whatever happens on the 20th of November in 2 days' time will be historic. Whatever happens in 2 days' time will be historic, and we must pay attention. 20th November is not just a date. Some of us are ignoring it. Some of us are not paying attention. 20th November is not just a date. No, it's not just a date. It is a judgment on Nigerian justice system. A judgment on Nigerian justice system. Will the Supreme Court finally show independence? That is the question. Will the Supreme Court finally show independence? That is the question we are waiting for answer on the 20th. It is also a judgment on human rights in Africa. It is also a judgment on human rights in Africa. Will they admit that extraordinary rendition is illegal? It is a judgment on political interference. Will politics override the rule of law again on the 20th? It is a judgment that exposes the Southeast politicians. If the court fails again, we will ask, what exactly did Southeast politicians do to help? If the court fails again, we will ask, what exactly did Southeast politicians do to help? So 20th is not just an ordinary date. It's a date that every one of us must pay attention to. It is a very, very important date that we must pay attention to. 20th November is a mirror for justice, a mirror for political integrity, a mirror for truth. Every well-meaning person across the world, it doesn't matter whether you are a Biafran or non-Biafran, injustice against one is injustice against all. Every human rights activist across the world, they must pay attention to 20th of November in Nigeria. They must focus their satellites, if possible, be a partaker, be a present, be an observer in the court of Nnamdi Kanu on 20th. It is very important. The international community should have representatives in that court on the 20th. It is a remarkable day. The people have a role to play. The people have a role to play, and we must not look back. More especially, we the Biafrans, we have a role to play. Civil resistance. The only reason Nnamdi Kanu is still alive today is the voice of the people. Take it or leave it. The only reason Nnamdi Kanu is alive today is the voice of the people. And that voice of the people, do not forget that that voice of the people was led by our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. He played a major role in keeping the voice of the people loud and made sure that Nnamdi Kanu is not forgotten. He made sure that the case of Nnamdi Kanu is not swept under the carpet. If you forget that, then it's either you are envious or jealous or wicked. The only reason Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still alive today is the voice of the people, which Mazi Simon Ekpa played a major role while he was with us, encouraging Biafrans, supported Biafrans in the sit at home, that has kept Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on front line from day one. He made a vow that we are going to make the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu useless in the hand of the government. He made a vow that Nigerian government will be exposed to the list, and he kept his vow. Up to the moment they took him away from us, he kept his promise. He said he will never, ever abandon Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, no matter what happened, even if he could take his life. And that was what he did. He kept the tempo, kept the pressure on, until Nigerian government could not be able to handle the pressure coming from Mazi Simon Ekpa. And they activated their global conspiracy in using Finland to silence Mazi Simon Ekpa. But I believe by now, Finland will be ashamed of themselves for working with a terrorist government, a lawless government, a failed state, to detain their own citizens that have served them on different levels. A citizen of Finland who has never been found wanting at any point in time, for many years that he lives in that land, he has turned to a very great height. But because of economic interests, they sold him out. Today, they will be ashamed of themselves. Watching Nigeria being designated as a country of particular concern, it is a shame to Finland. It is a big shame to Finland today. Because this country of particular concern was the one they claimed that gave them informations, false informations against Mazi Simon Ekpa. We are looking forward to the appeal. Whenever it comes up, we believe that our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa is going to be with us as soon as possible. All we are waiting for is appeal to be called up. And all things will work for our own good. The only reason Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still alive today is the voice of the people, and we must continue to speak. We must not allow them to silence us. Monday Sit at Home started as a resistance cry. The Monday Sit at Home that we are still holding now, going almost 5 years, is as a resistant cry. Social media campaign kept the struggle alive, just like we are doing. Just like many other platforms are doing on their own. Social media network. Different groups, different sections, different people, different platforms. They were speaking. Social media campaign kept the struggle alive. International pressure embarrassed the Nigerian government. International pressure. And it was those of us who are committed to the cause of Biafra, who have refused to be silenced, we made this possible, that international pressure should increase, continue to mount on Nigeria, and the shame is unbearable. Even today, the shame is increasing. The politicians in Biafra land did almost nothing. The politicians did almost nothing. It is the people that did everything that kept Mazi Nnamdi Kanu alive today. It is the people. Instead, the politicians were fighting the people. They were the ones fighting us, paying platforms, paying propaganda against us, including fighting our platforms, fighting the sit at home that was made. Sit at home that is our voice. The only voice we have in Nigeria is sit at home. They fought it with every weapon they can. They fought it with propaganda. They even took lives to blackmail it. But yet they did not succeed. The politicians did nothing but the people did everything. Now that we are approaching 20th November, the world must understand. The world must understand. The Biafran struggle is not a political game. It is not. It is a spiritual movement for dignity, justice, and identity. The world must understand. The Biafran struggle is not a political game. It is a spiritual movement for dignity, justice, and identity. Very important. The world must have this at heart while we approach 20th of November in 2 days' time. Every one of us, Biafrans, lovers of freedom, well-meaning people, must continue to demand. We must continue to demand the unconditional release of our school leaders, Nnamdi Kanu. We must continue to demand accountability of all Southeast politicians, every single one of them. We must demand accountability of all Southeastern politicians. Keep record of what they are doing. Keep record. Don't ever keep silent. We must demand end to silence, end to betrayal. We must continue to demand international involvement in Nigerian human rights violation. The designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. Every other nation of the world that cares about humanity should weigh in and designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern. The President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, have made that great move. Every other country should fall in line, just like Canada have done, Australia have done. The European Union should weigh in. We know that the British is doing everything possible to destroy what Donald Trump is doing to save Nigerians. We know they are pushing their machineries, going underground to lobby. We know very well. And at the same time, we know there are still men of conscience who will make sure that they do not succeed. So all hope is not lost. We must continue to demand international involvement in Nigerian human rights violations. We must continue to demand protection of the Southeast against state-induced insecurity. We must continue to demand the protection of the Southeastern region, Biafra land, against state-induced insecurity. This is exactly what we have in Biafra land today. State-induced insecurity. State-orchestrated genocide that is hidden from the eyes of the world. We know how many decades it took them to talk about Christian genocide. Biafran genocide has been going on since 1966. Let's talk about from 1966. It started since 1945, but let's bring it up to 1960 from the pogrom that is pronounced, recorded. From the pogrom up to this minute, Nigeria has been conducting a genocidal action in Biafra land. Even as we speak, it is still ongoing. We must continue to demand protection of the Southeastern region against state-induced insecurity. Very important. Don't you ever walk away from that demand. We must continue to demand justice for victims of government-backed violence. The government-backed violence, we must continue to demand justice for them. Wherever you are, as a Biafran, wherever you are, as a human rights activist, as those who care about humanity, you must not stop speaking. We must not stop pushing. We must not stop exposing these betrayals. We must not stop. No matter what you see, no matter the attack you hear, we must not stop. The boldness of the enemy is disturbing. Their wickedness is disturbing. And Nigeria is not ready to talk about solution. Do not fall into their deceit of telling you that they are doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. Up to today, the terrorist sympathizers are still walking free everywhere. The terrorist sympathizers are protected and they are being emboldened. They are sponsored. They are given security in Nigeria. The terrorist sympathizers are being protected in Nigeria. They are being emboldened. You still see them today boldly go to national TV and they are still making case for terrorists. It is sad and heartbreaking. And that will take us to a program I watched yesterday on VOP. And I want the whole world to pay attention. You are going to hear the voice of a terrorist sympathizer that is known all over the world. Sheikh Gumi. This man has continued to make case, defend, and work for, help the terrorists to collect ransom, and also demand the government to continue to pay the terrorists. Going across the world to lobby on behalf of terrorists. I want you to watch the interview he was granted in the VOP for you to see how bad it is. I want us to look into that interview. Let's listen and watch what this man has to say.
Nigeria, you're in Turkey. Did you run away? Why? Is it because Trump said he was coming around?
I'm speaking for you. I'm speaking to you from Nigeria here.
Oh, you're back in Nigeria. Good. Good. Now, I don't know if you heard or saw the video we just played for you where Reverend Ezekiel Dachamo, he was challenging you because you said those were empty caskets buried, but he's ready to prove that 27 people are in those caskets. And what do you say to that? Would you go there and have them exhume the caskets just to prove that corpses are actually in there?
I think because of the excitement in the country, he didn't even wait to hear or to read what I've written. It's there on my Facebook. I said a doctor wrote me about this.
Yes.
And I wrote, I hope it's not true.
Okay.
And
he said that a doctor wrote him to tell him that some people are burying empty caskets. What is different from that from what have been said in the news? And why would it be you that doctor will approach to give you such information? Why would it be you that will speak of that? And at the same time, can you please give us the name of the doctor so that from the doctor it can be traced to see the people that did this? I believe that doctor, either the operation was carried away from his office, or he saw it, or he's an eyewitness. Can you please submit the name of the doctor to the authorities and let the world see and hear? There's nothing different from what this idiot said with what the news is carrying. That you said you hope it's not true. What does that mean? I hope it's not true. Knowing who you are, what you support and what you stand for. You believe it is true. That is why you are too quick to come to the media to announce it in your own handle. If you believe it's not true, there is no point tweeting it. You don't have to tweet it. You believe it is true. That is why you tweeted it, that a doctor told you. You didn't even put the name of the doctor. As you don't want to call the name of the doctor, is put the doctor, or you're not sure of it. Why will you tweet it at all? Why would you make the tweet? These people think that they are smart. A terrorist sympathizer. Let's hear him.
I was surprised. He's quoting what the doctor said and attributing it to me. I think you can, before we finish your comment, to quickly go into the Facebook and see what I wrote there.
It is not about, it wasn't the doctor that brought it out. It is you that tweeted that in your Twitter handle. If you believe that it is not true, you are not going to tweet it. What intention do you have to come and say, tweet and say, a doctor told you? What is the intention? In a very critical time that people are mourning, solutions are being sought, you went to your Twitter handle and you said, a doctor told you. And now, the only thing you're pointing out is it is a doctor that said, not you. That you only said you hope it's not true. You felt it was true. That was why you tweeted it. Because if you know that what he said is not true, is not relevant, you don't have to tweet it. But now that you have brought it to the public and people are reporting it, please, can you bring the doctor forward to come and expatiate? You are the celebrity of Nigerian media. All the media, you are there. Can you please bring the doctor to a media house to be interviewed? Let him expatiate and explain more.
So eventually, I saw a lot of dramatization in the issue. I don't know why he was so agitated from something that is an allegation. Evidently, he's not talking about 2010 or what happened in 2010. If he can show a list of 500 Christians that were massacred, I myself now, I have a list of 1,000 Muslim families in this Kafancha area who were massacred during the 2011 riots. So what I've said is ethnic fighting between two groups, people who think they are resident and others are settlers, and others who think we have rights like any other Nigerian. This is the clash. But to bring religion into it, that is what beats mind.
Now, Sheikh, people are being massacred. I mean, you just mentioned Muslims being massacred. Christians have cried out that they are also being massacred. And the world is, I mean, some Nigerians and some in the world are saying this is genocide against Christianity. But you've always been on the position of making peace with those that have been killing people. How does that make you feel that those you are supporting, those you are asking to, for Nigeria to make peace with, continuously kill both Christians and Muslims? How does that make you feel? Don't you think it would be, it would do the nation a lot of good if they are wiped out, erased completely, so we can have peace in Nigeria? Don't you think so?
Yes, one, let me answer you in two phases. One, phase, not phase, in two phases. One, if it's possible to wipe them out and there'll be no more bloodshed, I will lead that contingent if it's possible.
When you say if it is possible, what are the things you think that will mar that movement from happening? When you say if it is possible.
Okay, so you see,
You see, when we say Nigeria cannot survive, look at Sheikh Gumi telling you that it is not possible to wipe away terrorism in Nigeria. This Sheikh is telling you that it is not possible to wipe away terrorism in Nigeria. So, what do you have to do? Give them their caliphate in the northern part of Nigeria. Give them. Forget about wiping them away. He is telling you that you can't wipe them away. I don't know why people continue to beat about the bush, interview this man, and he has told you what they want. And I hope that the United States of America is listening. That these people are not going back in their words. That is why we prefer Biafra as the only remedy. Disintegration to your tent, O Israel. Everybody go their separate ways. Enjoy your banditry in the north. Let the rest people enjoy whatever they want to enjoy in their side.
To look at the factors that are driving men to be so reckless, to be so bold, and to be so vicious and commit such atrocities. There is something behind them. That thing, if you don't cure it, you shed more and more blood.
Can you help us shed more light to that, Sheikh Ahmed? You know, earlier when we had you on the show, you say something about these people, these extremists killing Nigerians now. You know, you quoted a part of the Holy Quran that said that it is more like the end time one, or that you gave it that religious connotation that they are doing the killings because of what is going to happen at the end of the time. You know, when you say you say that they are looking for something, and until when we could nip that, we they are looking for the board will not have peace. Can you help us actually make sense of it? Who are these people? What are they looking for? And why are they flourishing in Nigeria?
Very good. Very good. The end of time tribulations that will happen. And the Prophet of Islam said, if he's alive, he will annihilate them. And I'm telling you, I can if we have the power, we annihilate them. But two, look at what is behind these people. It's ignorance, one. Then we stir the hornet's nest. So this is their complaint. They're attacking people because they said we attacked before. So now what we can do is we try to get to them and see how we can divert them. Because look, they are just ready-made soldiers, ready for evil or for good.
From where? Ready-made soldiers from where? Who made them? And how are they in Nigeria? Because recall that we have some top security personnel in Nigeria telling us that they are not Nigerians. For example, the likes of Bello is a Nigerian. So if they are already made soldiers ready to attack, who made them? And why is it that their activities in Nigeria is not being checked? Now, why I'm asking this question is you have
let me tell you before I answer you. I just ask you who give them these leather weapons to fight. Who?
Let me land on my question, Sheikh. Now I'm a Sheikh. In Nigeria, for example, you are once a military officer, you know, to start with, a ranked one, a captain to start with. And, you know, you've been all out talking about how we need to grant these people who are killing both soldiers and civilians amnesty. And then you also go all out to say that they are already made soldiers, so we have to find a way to renegotiate or negotiate with them because we kill them first. They are foreigners operating on a sovereign nation. How does that make you feel as a former military man?
Americans are talking about coming to Nigeria to do the work for others, not for Nigerians. It's Nigeria not negotiating to America. A foreign country trying to infringe on our right and sovereignty, and yet still we're negotiating with him.
ISWAP is operating on the floor of Nigeria.
If America said she's going to attack Russia, immediately Russia will get their nukes ready. They will never allow Americans to come into Russia and say maybe they want to free some minorities in Russia that we are. Look, you see, you have to assess a fight and see the one you can fight and see the one you can debate and negotiate. That is just simple.
All right. Now, when I asked about, you know, how you feel about it, you talked about America coming into a sovereign nation. ISWAP the other time, and then, you know, some pockets of Boko Haram members were fighting over a territory in Nigeria. This is more like having another state in another state. These are, I'm talking about, are not state actors operating on a sovereign nation. Is there anything wrong at all in seeking for help from people or country with more sophisticated weapons to come into Nigeria to help take out extremist jihadists that are already causing both Muslim and Christian pains?
The Nigerian government, through the official, respecting Nigerian sovereignty, can seek help from anywhere. But for a president who is also not too far from the bandits and the terrorists who has a history of presidents, we have seen what he has done in Gaza, giving Netanyahu weapons to massacre children, women, and do that. Then suddenly, before even the gun has cooled down, calling him into Nigeria to come in and do another massacre, who will agree with that? No government will agree with that.
Okay,
so that is the question. So you're calling a criminal. If you're not a criminal, nobody will even raise a voice. Yes, we need assistance, but this assistance comes through our military. Our military, if empowered, they can do it.
Okay, all right, Sheikh, let me stay with you. You were on this session about, I think that was
Monday last week, if I'm not mistaken, but sometime in the past, you know, and you said that, look, Nigerians got into a debate. Trump had to redesignate Nigeria as a country of particular concern. And your position then was that, look, if Trump comes into Nigeria and harms as much as one Muslim, that the Muslim community, you were very clear on that, that the Muslim community is going to retaliate in kind. And the fact that they were going to unleash terror on Christian community. You were very clear on that.
Yes.
And yesterday, the Pope Leo VI said, look, there is Christian persecution in Nigeria. Trump had said it, you denied it, that there is no genocide in Nigeria. Nigerians denied it, Nigerian government denied it. Now we have the Pope say, look, there is Christian persecution in Nigeria. What's your reaction to the position of Pope Leo VI?
Well, I would say because he's already a Christian, his testimony cannot be taken. And one proof there's no genocide in Nigeria, it's like you people in the studio that are comfortably asking me and questioning me about what's happening in Nigeria. So nobody's killing Nigerians. And most of the high-ranking officers in the armed forces are Christians. I wouldn't think they will be assisting in killing Christians, fellow Christians.
Okay, all right.
So
Sheikh,
we can say that from sentiments and other things.
Okay,
but if you ask me, are Christians involved in this violence? I said yes, they are involved as victims and as villains too.
Okay,
just like
as
Muslims.
victims and villains.
And we are victims. Let me tell you one thing. Look, why do you think these great killings in the north? These people are saying we are taking revenge of our people that we are killed, our children. They are taking revenge and killing their own fellow Muslims in masses. Now, if a foreign country will come and kill them, and this foreign country will make the mistake of saying, I'm going to protect.
Imagine what this man is saying, that they are killing people in revenge for their fellow Muslims that were killed. At what point in time were Christians attacking Muslims in Nigeria? Have you ever had such? Please, write on the comment section if you have heard in Nigerian history anywhere that they said that Christian communities attacked the Muslims in Nigeria. Has it ever happened in history? Which revenge is this man talking about that they are revenging for? Who is it when the Nigerian armed forces carry out an operation? How is that a Christian? What does that get to do with Christians? You see, it is so difficult that I don't know why when the world listens to this man speak on the national TV, when the people hear this kind of a man speak, work freely with security in Nigeria, and you still think Nigeria is viable. I'm sorry. You are only waiting for your own head to be off before you do the right thing. You're only waiting for your own head to be off. There is nothing to do to appease these people. Disintegrate the zoological republic and let everybody go their separate ways. Simple. Let them create their caliphate. Don't disturb them. Allow them to create it. Let every region get their own region and protect it. United States don't even have to risk their resources and their military. The only thing you need to do is to create that let people go their separate ways. Disintegrate Nigeria, and that is all. You don't need to fire any shot. Disintegrate it, let the people protect their land and their territory. Simple as that. Because with people like this, God help that contraption.
A certain thing, automatically their psyche is that certain thing that you are trying to protect is my enemy. And look how, and you see Nigerians, as the Muslims in Nigeria, whether they are victims or whatever it is, they wouldn't allow a criminal country
Sheikh,
like.
Sheikh, let me stay with you.
No, wait. They wouldn't allow America to come in here and do any military. What happened with what happened is when French. Oh, sorry.
France, you mean? Hello?
Hello? Am I online?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Somebody is trying to get me.
Okay.
What happened when when French was driven from the Sahel? Oh, somebody is trying to.
All right. We'll let you react to that call, and then we'll come back. If you can deal with the call that is interrupted, so we can continue the conversation.
So you see, Nigerians wouldn't even allow the French, even though French didn't colonize Nigeria. We never allowed any foreign country to come to Nigeria. We are the ones that are invited, especially in West Africa, to go and help people, like we had in Liberia and others. So I think what we need to do is to come and sit down as Nigerians, Muslims, Christians, and even non-religious. Now we have a situation at hand. How do you attack it? How do we do it? That's why I involved myself right from the beginning before things get to this situation. I involved the police not at state level, the IG, Inspector of Police. We spoke with Chief of Army Staff then. We spoke with all the security apparatus. Look, we have a window where we can see, we can divert these people, divert them from this evil. But nobody is listening. But now the thing is getting out of hand.
If I understand you clearly, you're trying to say that you led them, they dropped their arms, Nigerian government did not play its own part, and so they picked up their arms again and continued fighting. If I understand you clearly. Is that
yes.
Yes. Okay. I'll come back to you. I have a question for you, but let me quickly bring in your friend who's in the studio here, Barrister Darlington, into the conversation. You guys went head-to-head the last time. Barrister, good morning to you once again. You heard Reverend Ezekiel Dajamo, and of course, you've read the reports already. What are your thoughts?
It's unfortunate that instead of things getting better, some people are somewhere fueling it. That means they are unrepentant.
They are?
It is said that when you tell me your friends, I will tell you whom you are.
Yes.
Seriously. Moses, you people were here when we had the discussion last time. And my take, or what I took away that day was, the Sheikh said that we should be praying for northern leaders. That, yes, they are the problem. He even called Buhari idiot. I don't know what that means. He said it that day. And I was thinking that with the prayer I went into, according to him, that we should be praying for them so that things will get better. And I went into that prayer thinking that, but all my prayer now is null and void, is in vain, because the northern leaders are not allowing the prayer to go into them. They are still, digging into the trenches by supporting this evil. There is no reason why anybody should even have one